Everybody, welcome to the Outsider Insider live in Rostock edition. Greetings to all you knights of the Rhomboid table. Hope you're okay. I'm probably blowing the mic out. I apologize. Let me know if we're coming through loud and clear. Can you hear us?
I have to wait to get past all the highs.
5x5. Okay, we're good.
5x5 is good.
5x5. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. Great to see you all here.
Welcome.
Let me see if I can do a roll call, see who's all here. We've got Sir Artie from House America. We've got Sir Greg from Great Northern. We've got Sir Andy, the hot dog pilot, Sir Ifo Fonzone. We got Sir Andrew from March West Junction. We got Sir Mick, the Royal Barkeep is here. Sir Randall of Ellison, Sir Simon from SJ Train World, whom we got to hang out with for a few hours while we were in Copenhagen, which was
ice cream.
best ice cream ever. Joyce has confirmed. Joyce has confirmed the claim that it was quite possibly the best ice cream ever. Let me see. CMD Models just came in. Welcome in, good Sir Knight. We've got Sir Dirk from Southern Cross Railway. We've got Sir Tim of Dowd, our ever trustworthy and good CEO of the Knights of the Rhomboid table. Sir Leslie of Gilpin just came in, and Sir Chris of the Valley's been. I don't know if loving is an appropriate term, but been with you on those post you've been putting up on Facebook. Sir Tom of Couples, our Sergeant at Arms, is here to keep order, as opposed to Sir Mick, who takes orders.
Right.
So, yeah, hope you guys are all well. In the last week we were live at Jean's house and we were running trains on the floor, which was awesome. Hey, there's Sir Jean of Ricard, speaking of the devil, so to speak.
Me too, Simon.
Yeah, Joyce really wanted to go back out to Roskilde to buy tram or train just to get it one more time, or wherever it was we got. Joyce is like, do you remember where it was? But wherever it was in Copenhagen or
we're back in
Roskilde.
so.
But yeah, it's yeah, so many things have happened. We left Jean's house, but Jean came with us and drove us to this town with this tram and railway museum. Let me see if I can pull in a couple of things here. I'm doing this. This is so weird to try to do this all, but maybe I could do it this way. So let's see. Present. Share screen. And which screen do I want to share? Window, which one? There it is. So I think you guys should be seeing this right now. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay, you're up. So yeah, this was Jean Ricard took us to this tram museum where he has done years where he would volunteer and knew a lot of the people. And we got to see some of the trams there from around the world.
Yeah, there was an Australian tram.
Now, is it flipping through yours? Yes. Okay, I got it delayed.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to read the chant.
Veti Italian for a Danish tram.
Well, they're trams from all around the world. So a lot of German, Swiss, French, Italian, Australian, which don't think you can come much further than that.
Yep. Oh, that's
But
right.
we've got
looks like teak wood.
So there's just all kinds of stuff there. I don't want to go through all the pictures we took, but
I take a lot of pictures.
Because Joyce does take a lot of pictures. They're celebrating, Jean, you'll have to correct us, something like their 60th anniversary or something like that.
60th?
something like that was going on, and they had a little band playing down at the one side. This is the Australian one with the new Queen of Denmark, or she's not that new anymore. But this is the Australian tram. So you get the idea. It was.
Says, yeah, Melbourne trams get everywhere. Ding ding.
Hey, Sir Andrew 156.
Hey, Andrew.
Welcome in, welcome in. So it was, in fact, it was a very cool experience, and we're very grateful to Jean Ricard for taking us there on our way into Copenhagen. Now, while we were on our way to Copenhagen, Jean Ricard got a call that his aunt, his one of his few surviving relatives, I think Jean, you'll correct me on it. His only surviving relative in Denmark, who lives in Copenhagen, had a small accident or something like that and was in the hospital. And Jean had to leave us. And we had already made plans to meet with Simon to go for dinner, but Jean had to leave. So Simon agreed to kind of show us around quite a bit of Copenhagen, which he did. We went out to eat, which was awesome, very good food. And Simon was just an amazing tour guide. It was just it was so cool to hang out with him and talk to him. And then he took us to the world's best ice cream.
Yep.
Hi,
Aaronville.
Hello, Sir Aaron of Aaronville. Welcome in. Actually, 40 years of running into the forest. Okay, 40 years, not 60. Got it.
Okay.
And it was a great time. But he put us in his car and he took us out to his if anybody follows Simon, who's here as SJ Train World, if anybody follows Simon's channel, his club is building this layout that he has done some videos on. But we got to see it, and it is bigger than it looks in the videos he's shown. It is really an impressive piece of work.
Huge.
Kudos to all the men.
The layout they're building there.
Kudos to all the people that are building it. It is an epic undertaking, and it is just huge. It is big. So I got to make sure I get the right picture here. So, yeah, Joyce got a few pictures here of it.
Well, it's so big, it was hard to know what to take.
It's in a still functioning school. It's in one of these basement areas that they don't use anymore. And they are allowed to build trains down there. So it is just the work, the wiring, everything about it.
That's one of two.
That's one of two helixes. Actually, you don't say helixes, it's helices.
Helices, fine. Yeah, it really is.
Some American geek.
Geeking it up, yeah. It's like, whoa, look at that bridge.
But that gives you an idea of just how massive it is with my big size there and looking across it and on and on. It is, and really yeah, so was that. But the day didn't end there. We were looking at some of the trains they have and talking because we had gone to a train shop in Aalborg a couple of days before.
Imagine that an end. Hi, Andy Thompson.
Hey, hi, Sir Andy of Puff Candy. But anyhow, we were talking about trains, and Simon says, well, do you have any Danish trains? And I say, no. And he grabs this box and he throws it at me and says, now you do. And I was like, what? And I actually kind of refused the offer at first, simply because I was like, I have no place in my luggage to put these. And as I'm telling him, thank you, but no thank you. Thank you, but no thank you. I want them, but there's just no way. Joyce says, we're just going to have to get another bag, which was Joyce's way of saying, we're getting them.
Gonna have another bag. You're gonna get this all in our suitcase.
But you had said then,
I
we're just
know.
going to
Yeah,
have
I
to get
know. That
another
was my.
bag for luggage.
Yep.
But he gave me, I'm going to enlarge on me. Sorry, Joyce, you're getting cut out. Let's go this way. Computer cam, solo. Me, people. And where am I at? I got to flip this back up. But anyhow, he gave me 4 of these cards. Danish State Railway cards.
Yeah, it really would be cost prohibitive.
Yes, Greg, it would be more expensive to try ship home, plus dealing with potential T words, and we won't say anything more about that stuff from that country back overseas we're going home to in a few days.
Yeah, they really are, Andy.
But and I've got another one here. I just don't think I can stack them all. Can you do it? Can you do it? Well, I was going to do it until Joyce helped, which was that. But he gave me these 4 cars, including one of them is a Steuerwagen, a control cab. These are HOAC, which is why he was giving them to me, because their layout is HOAC. But they couldn't use these cars. And then Simon told me the story behind these cars, and now I feel very honored to have them. These belong to a member of the club who died suddenly. That was one of Simon's friends, and he donated his working partners on the layout, and he donated these cars, his entire collection, to the club. But so these belong to a guy named Peter. So I'm going to get a Danish locomotive, and I'm going to have a Danish train on my layout, and we're going to call it Peter's Express, which I'm sure can have a double entendre, but today I won't make that joke.
So how was Miniature Wonderland?
Miniature Wonderland was awesome.
Grand Prix was working, and that was
the Grand Prix was going. It was awesome. We will put up a video of our trip to Miniature Wonderland when I get back home to America. We leave Wednesday. We'll be home in America Wednesday.
Yep.
We're leaving Wednesday morning here. It'll be Wednesday afternoon when we arrive, because the way the plane flies this way and the time moves that way. So we don't go back in time, but it actually only winds up being like 3 hours of time difference. Artie, you've just been too negative, dude. Miniature Wonderland was wonderful. It was awesome. You just gotta get used to the crowds.
Well, we kind of broke you, but I think you got better. Maybe.
Yeah, it seems like it's been quick, but this is our 4th live stream from Germany, and we have packed so many adventures in. Let's go back to bringing Joyce in.
How long is the flight home? It's somewhere between a 7 and
About 8 hours. About 8 hours. Direct flight to Detroit, and then another 45 minutes to get home from Detroit.
Your right leg is still recovering. Yeah, in some ways it's a whirlwind. I mean, to think
we have packed so much in.
It's been a long time, and then it's been such a short thing.
Joyce and I have had a running gag, because at times we get caught up in the tedium. You get caught up in the you're a little tired, or you're a little flustered because the weather hasn't been exactly what you thought it would be, for good or for bad, and blah blah. And we keep having to stop ourselves, and you'll have to excuse the language, but several times we've had to say, you realize we're in fucking we're in fucking Copenhagen, man. We're in Copenhagen. And it's like, oh God, yeah, we're in the last few days I've been losing track of days. Oh wait, right. Today's Wednesday, and I'm thinking it's either Thursday or Monday.
-6, guys. There's a 6-hour difference here between Germany and Eastern Standard Time. But Toledo is in.
Dirk, we have had a great time.
We sure have.
We're going to have to watch the videos of this trip to soak in because we have just had days where it's been boom, 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 boom of one amazing thing. Like we're in Copenhagen, then we go out to Roskilde to see this epic church where a lot of the old Danish royalty are buried and a little bit of the town. And then we're back in Copenhagen and we're doing a boat tour through the canals of Copenhagen. And, you know, there's just so much happens in one day. Yeah, not happening. No, Noab. No, Noab. That's a locomotive. That looks a little bit like an F7.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, as you know, Artie, the weather has changed. It has been. Hey, Tito! The weather has changed.
Yeah.
They're you know, we get the local daily weather reports. Like yesterday was supposed to be 69 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, what is that? 23.
Chilly.
23 Celsius, something like that.
Comes out.
That goes up to 75.
It's warm.
The high yesterday was supposed to be 69. It was 75.
It's hard to figure out
the high today was supposed to be 64, and it probably hit 70 out there. It probably hit 70 out there because we're supposed to be cooling down. Tomorrow.
Monsville.
Hey, Monsville. It's supposed to get warm tomorrow. They're saying 77 Fahrenheit, which is about what, 25 Celsius? And I bet it'll be warmer than that.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow, Joyce and I are going to do our first swimming in the Baltic Sea, because we are going over to a town called Sassnitz, which is on the island of Rügen, which is northeast Germany. You can't get any more northeast in Germany. It's an island right off the coast of mainland Germany. It's a big vacation island. And we're going to go to the rocky beaches of Sassnitz because they have these chalk cliffs, you know, sort of the German version of the White Cliffs of Dover, but shorter.
Right.
And these rocky beaches. And then if we have time, we're going to go down to either Binz or Zelen, towns on the southeastern coast, because Sassnitz is on the northeast part of the island, and it's rocky beaches and shores. And then Zelen is the sandy beaches. And so if we can do both, we're going to do both, probably down to Binz and then come back home. So tomorrow's going to be our last really long day. Sunday, we're going up to Warnemünde, which is the big beaches here in Rostock. We haven't been to them yet. And it is supposed to be 30?
No, not that hot.
28, 29
I think more like
Celsius. It's supposed to be 80. No, it's supposed to be 80. I think they're saying 88 Fahrenheit.
89, I thought.
88, 89 Fahrenheit, which I thought was 30 some, you know, closer to like 30, 31 Fahrenheit or Celsius. I mean,
maybe it is. I mean,
it's going to be hot.
To be hot. Yep.
It's going to be very hot. And I expect Warnemünde is going to be packed. We changed our routine. Like today we went to the town of Schwerin. We went to the town of Schwerin, which is the capital of this particular region of Germany. And it's got a famous castle that's on an island in this gigantic lake. Although it's close to one of the shores of the lake, near the town of Schwerin. And it was absolutely epic. It was bigger than I thought it was going to be. It was more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. In fact, it's probably up in one of my top 3 palace castles I've ever seen in Germany. It was epic. It was absolutely stunning.
Frankfurt's supposed to hit 96 on Sunday. 76 on Monday.
76.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
then-
Artie was down in that area talking about how hot it was getting. Now
so-
he's over in Serbia.
Mhm.
Hey, Sir Charlie. Yeah, remember to wear a hat. Yeah, I took my hat off the other day and left it off and kind of burned the top of my head. So yeah, I'm remembering hat. But
Dang,
Joyce,
you're up
because we're
early.
going swimming, Joyce gonna grease me up. Now, yesterday, hey Digger, Sir Digger, how are you? And Sir Tom Houston is here, I believe I saw, and Sir Lee of Anfield Road is here. Hello, Lee. How you doing, man? How are you and Jackie doing?
Yeah, same.
Can't tag her on the phone, no problem.
9:20 and getting dark. Yep.
So it's been yesterday. We, of course, the big deal was Joyce and I took local transit out to a small town outside of Rostock called Bad Dobran.
Why am I out of focus? I moved too much.
Yeah, you moved in.
Oh, I'm blurry.
This camera's acting up. It's one of the reasons why it's not on my layout anymore.
That's why we don't use it.
It's why it's not on my layout downstairs. Yeah. Well, usually if I hold my hand in front of it, it'll eventually adjust.
Okay.
But yeah, we
You're welcome.
we went to the town of Bad Dobran and we caught what's called Demoli. Yeah, that's why Joyce's head's down. She's reading the chat. We took a trip on a you can see the locomotive below us. It's Dermoli. Actually, the locomotive is not called Dermoli. The train is Dermoli, which is short for Mecklenburg, blah blah blah. Schmalspur. Narrow gauge. It's a narrow gauge train, and what it does is in Bad Dobran, it's famous because it actually runs through the streets of the town. You literally could put the windows down and reach your hand out and grab stuff off the racks outside the shops. You could smack people walking down the street. You could smack somebody walking down the street because you can really, it's the same street the cars are driving on. The cars have to catch the train warnings.
Yes, revenge.
Oh yeah. Oh God, that's a whole story right there.
Yeah.
I'm a bicyclist.
What we're talking
I'm
about.
a bicyclist, but oh my God, in Copenhagen. And here in Rostock,
to the train station, there is a bike lane in the road.
The bicyclists just obey no rules here. None. They have bike lanes. They don't ride in them.
Hit a bell.
They have red lights. They run through them.
They don't say anything. They're just all of a sudden.
And they ride up behind you and clip you. I'm used to in Germany. They have the little bells, cling, 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 when they're coming up. No. And this is these guys that are big biking enthusiasts, mountain biking, really, really fit, tall, thin guys. And yeah, they're bastards. They if they hit you, they don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Amsterdam is worse. Well, Munster is probably bad too, but there's always been random because anywhere you go in Europe, there's lots of bikers. But in Copenhagen and a couple other parts of Denmark, and then here in Rostock and some of the other places, they just rules don't apply to them.
Feel the need to be rude while we're
but we
need to be rude while we're cycling.
So the Molly goes through the streets of Bad Dobran, and then when it gets outside the town, it goes through the fields and the woods and slowly works its way up, and then you run along the coast and you get these beautiful views of the Baltic Sea coast there, and it goes to a town called Koolingsborn. And Joyce and I got out of Koolingsborn, and then we went playing in the water. If you saw our Facebook post.
Right.
Well, let me see if I can.
The women are beautiful. Okay, then.
Let me see. So share screen, window, this one, share. So we did not get a lot of pictures, but I do have a lot of video.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We took that for Bagratza, but
for Cayenne. Yeah.
These are just some random pictures we took of the town. But this is the town of Koolingsborn, and this is the Baltic Sea. It's the first time I officially see the true Baltic Sea, other than when we were on the ferry coming down from Copenhagen to Rostock.
But not. Did we visit Brawa? Flores.
Prora is on the Isle of Rugen, so no, we haven't been there yet.
Right, yeah, we haven't been there yet. That's Sunday when it's warm.
Yeah, we're going. No, that's tomorrow.
Oh,
Prora
right,
is near the
yeah.
Prora is near the
Oh heck, I don't know.
city of Beans. I just mentioned.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was very cool. This is just some of the pictures of us from the train. And again, here it's going through the top
Guy.
Bad Doberan and Goethestrasse. But yeah, it's going right through the street. It's silly. You really can reach out and touch people because I'm inside the train. I'm not even reaching out. But like I could have reached out and smacked that guy on the head if I wanted to put the window down and do it. I didn't know if you were allowed to, and then somebody else did it. So I was like, oh well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Time comparing that to Australia. Like I didn't think it was that much like, and Anthony was saying he thought it was. So
it reminded me a lot of Australia, the big white sandy beaches, and just nothing, no land to see outside of the land that's.
Eckert, hello from Rostock.
Well, hang on. Let's stop sharing. Go to that. Hello, Andre Eckert. Hello from Rostock ourselves.
Right.
We're on Schroederstrasse.
You want an item?
Kroplinga, not Kroplina. The Koplina tour is about 7 minutes away from us here. The Kropolina.
Molly Railway. I'm
Kropolina.
sure you know it.
Yes. Yep. We rode Molly yesterday. So
These people you
where am
met
I
here that
going?
you said you
I
had
gotta
a
go to
YouTube channel, right?
Oh, I gotta go here. Okay. And from participants to there he is. Uh There it is. I'll get to it. I'm a little out of practice right now.
Yeah, I guess.
I know to clear your night to the round boy table. Andrew, you can post a link to your channel if you got one on what's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been in Rostock since Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Since Wednesday. We've been in Rostock since Wednesday.
All right. See ya, Lee. Take care.
All right, Lee. Yeah, next week I'll be back to running trains and I'll have a few trains to run because these guys will be running somehow. These beautiful Danish cars.
Oh, because
not with the right logo. That'll
but
take some time, right?
yeah.
But we have had yeah, we're about a 15-minute walk to the Hauptbahnhof in Rostock.
For heaven's sakes, Mansville, that's awfully early for you. So
I slept in till 7 a.m.
yeah, you can always watch on replay.
But tomorrow we're going to the Isle of Rugen to the town of Sassnitz, and then we'll go down to Beans where Prora Beach is. It's just north of the town of Beans. So we'll go there. And if we have time, we'll go down to Zelen. It's not easy. It's about an hour by bus or local system to get down to Zelen. So I don't know if we have all day tomorrow, so we can do it.
Yeah.
We're leaving early tomorrow. We're leaving at 9 a.m. It's about a 2-hour train ride. So we'll get to Sassnitz at 11. We'll hit the beaches, spend time up there, go through the town. And there's also the Koningsstuhl cliff that we're hoping we might be able to hike to, walk to, get to.
So, what's your opinion on the trams? Are you talking the trams in Rostock?
We have not ridden the trams yet because I'm married to, well, she's that way. She's actually right here.
Yeah.
See, I should flip the pictures.
Right.
But yeah, we're
okay, yes.
They seem to be fine. They definitely get you around town. We just walk everywhere.
Yeah.
We just walk.
I like to walk.
Yeah, it's a 15-minute walk. Let's take the tram. Joy says, nah, we can walk it. I don't know what your cutoff for time is.
I don't know either.
I do not know what her cutoff for time is when it comes to here, let's make this way. There. Now it lines the same way up. It's mirrored of us, but there, see? There she is.
She responded.
Are they home?
I said they're watching the stream, and she finally responded, "Yes, we are."
Oh, Kyan's on. Kyan, are you there?
Well, I asked her, does Kai want us greeting? Yeah, that was something else, Sean. That was a 6 a.m. fire alarm.
Oh yeah.
The hotel. So mind you, we were on the 9th floor.
Our last day in Copenhagen, we're leaving at whatever time. We were going to leave the hotel about 9 or so,
Okay.
9 or 10. I forget what time we were going to leave. And 6 a.m. the fire alarm goes off because some idiot was in his room. Could have been a her. Some idiot was in their room
with the cigarette,
trying to smoke, probably next to the window or something, thinking if I blow it out the window, nobody will know I'm in here smoking. But these alarms are super sensitive.
Clock. And of course, and, you know, I really thought the Copenhagen, well, the visitors of Copenhagen.
I don't smoke, and I've never smoked. And if you smoke, that's fine. That's your choice. But Germany's and Denmark's individual liberty laws.
No, you were not there.
Need to put a.
Kai wants to say hello now.
Okay, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta
plug your ears, but we can't be too loud.
We can't be too ears. All right.
So this is to our grandson, who we
hang on, dear. We're gonna go to this one, and you're gonna have to lean in. You're gonna have to lean in here and go 1, 2, 3. We got you some more stuff today.
Yes.
We got you a little bit more. A little trobby.
Yeah.
If anybody here doesn't know, Kyan is our grandson, our one and only grandchild.
Yes. And we love him dearly.
And he has been missing his Oma and Opa, and we've been missing him.
Andre, we will look at that. The 3-part trams are 1994, the 5-part are 2014.
I think they're cool. I think they're cool looking.
Cool.
And they definitely, you see them all the time. So they're getting around, they're running. We just haven't partaken use of them.
Right.
We've been using the S-bonds and the REs.
Take one to go up to.
That we're actually, no, we're taking an S1.
Okay, never mind.
We're taking the S1. That's
to get one to the train station though.
Yeah, we got to figure out which tram near, if there's a tram line near us that goes straight to the train station, because we do not want to march through town with our luggage.
It's a little longer walk than I like with bags. And bicyclists.
Yeah. There's a point where broomsticks should be legal. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things you just go, wait, we did this and 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 we did this. Today we went and saw the Castle of Schwerin and walked through the town of Schwerin, and it was amazing. The castle is just mind blowing.
Yeah, it really was.
But since we saw you guys last week, I mean, just to nutshell everything, since we were on last week at Abeltoft, we got up the next morning and drove to Copenhagen. We went to the tram museum, and then we got to Copenhagen and hung out with Simon that night.
Thank you, Andre.
Lines 2, 5, 6. So now we just got to see which one of those is closest to us.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so then we had Copenhagen, and we went out to Roskilde and saw Simon's layout, and then we went back to Roskilde the next day to see the town and the church and blah blah blah. And then our last full day in Copenhagen, we went out and saw all the palaces. Oh, we saw the changing of the royal guard at the Danish royal palace. We saw the changing of the guard. We didn't get to see it when we were in the UK in 2022 at Windsor or at
Yeah, we took a boat tour. That was
because it was the Queen's Jubilee stuff going on, and they had blocked access to some of those areas off, so you couldn't see the changing of the guard at Windsor or Buckingham Palace while we were there.
Okay, Andre, I have to say, a couple of years ago, I would take pictures in the city and I would wait for the trams to go past and the buses to go past. And then people here started complaining. How come we don't see any buses or
How come you never
trams?
take pictures of the trams? And so now she makes sure she tries to get pictures of the
And I'm
trams.
like, nah, people like this. Click.
Our train fans like it. So we got to appease both crowds because our friends and family are like, oh, that tram got in the way. And then all our model train friends are like, why didn't you take a picture or video of the trams?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. There were a couple people, Simon, who had their bags with them. Like I say, I just stopped long enough to get a little more dressed, grab my shoes and my backpack.
One of those people with the bag was the person smoking because they got up and need that cigarette before they leave.
Because this is
Christopher, my friend, how are you?
We have had a behave. This isn't the first time we've been awakened by a fire
alarm at a hotel.
So I know better. I had my shoes and my important.
The funny thing was the difference: the people who took their time and got dressed, and the people that are downstairs in their
pajamas.
There were those three girls that were in their underwear.
Well, they were sleeping in there.
Yeah, and they just got out.
Tank tops, spaghetti tops.
No, the one that was not little shorts. It was
okay.
It was just a little bit more than a G-string.
Right. So
maybe she was the pole dancer called into somebody's room.
The worst part of it is, there's 4 elevators.
Oh God! And we're on the 9th floor. The top floor. We're on the 9th floor.
Wait. So we walked up the 9 flights.
Oh no, you forgot the other half of that story. You were talking about the elevators and the fire alarm.
Oh yeah, well
yeah, we're on the 9th floor. The fire alarm goes off, and half the people on our floor are going and trying to get on the elevators. Yeah, kind of. So it's a fire, people. You can't use the elevators, and they're like, I gotta walk down 9 flights of stairs. Yes, it was hilarious.
So yeah, that's about it.
John Ricard was on the 4th floor.
Yeah,
we were on the 9th. John was on the 4th.
Boy, did I worry about him getting down. So we were so happy to see him. Okay, cool. Andre's channel, a lot of train spotting in Rostock. Hopping off. So go. Somewhat
sure I was subscribed to him, but I will double check.
Well, yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom, bada bow.
We'll fix that. Yeah.
I'll fix it one way or the other. I'll fix you. I just got to go live stream, bing, here, and then go. Where is he? Where is he?
You were on the 3rd floor.
Oh, somebody.
Is it a car or is it?
It's
a party.
There's a party this weekend.
Yeah, some sort of.
They've got the wine. They got the wine fest going off over by the Kruperliner Tor.
Yeah. She's mostly been able to avoid. We just walked through the park.
No, I'm not subscribed. Well, damn, I am now. Yeah. I'm subscribed to him now. There, you got your. So everybody else go check his channel and join out. Especially if you like the European stuff.
Andre.
You can post your link. Come on, Andrew. Everybody knows.
You've been here, Andrew.
Everybody knows you can post a link to anything that's hobby or comedy related. No politics. No politics, no religion, but share everything else.
See who you are.
A good train channel, a good comedy channel, history channel, other hobby related. Like I'm really into fishing, and this guy's got a great channel. That's why everybody is knighted, so you can share.
Awesome.
Oh, fantastic!
I'd like to get you a little higher than that. So if you haven't subscribed to Monsville, check Monsville's station out.
Or channel.
Or channel. That's what I was trying to say.
Station channel. It's all the same.
I think already we get arrested.
I like it. I'm going to start calling mine a YouTube station. And it's a double entendre because channel station, but also train station. Yeah.
So,
What am I up to?
Tim, I'm at 399.
Get Tim over 400. Somebody here who's not subscribed to Tim Dow, you get your ass over to that channel right now and you subscribe. Get our CEO Tim over 400. What? What do you mean be nice?
And you're yelling. No,
Damn straight. My CEO should not be hanging at a 99.
I agree. Already 461. Are you in competition with Mons?
No, mine's
Both
just
being
went
down
over.
under.
Down under.
So,
I come from a land down under. Oh yeah, yeah.
hey Tim, we're doing our best.
But you know,
Kind of got the good cop, bad cop routine there.
apparently.
Oh, TT gauge. Okay.
Now you get over there and you subscribe to that channel.
Hurrah.
About time, Andrew. What took you so long? The best kind, Your Honor. I keep surviving.
Yeah.
Not quite as gruff with him right now.
Yeah.
Best kind, Your Honor. I keep surviving.
That's
a little better. I've been working on all the voices a little bit. But yeah, it's just been.
Hey y'all, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button.
You just keep those 38s in their holsters.
Caleb Thornton.
Caleb Thornton.
Do any E2 tank engines exist today?
I don't know, but
EFO?
welcome in, Caleb.
EFO? Feels like an EFO question.
That feels like an EFO question. Since Raymond Legs is not here.
Well, yeah.
We did see some old. Now, I did not film. We went into a local train shop here in Rostock. And I'm gonna feel guilty because I've forgotten the name of it. I'm gonna have to go to Google real fast and look it up.
Oops.
Great googly moogly.
Well,
it's right around the corner from us too.
They didn't have your stuff.
Didn't have my stuff,
We're
man.
not American.
Didn't have my stuff. Come on, where is it? That's me. I know I've got it saved. Why is it? Grr. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Modellbahn Schaft. Modellbahn Schaft. We went to Schaft. And very nice train shop. Decent size. I'd say average size for what I'm used to seeing. But because this is the old East Germany, they had a lot of Piko, and they did not have any Märklin stock. We had a nice talk with them. They were very friendly. We had quite a bit of chat. And I did buy a couple of things, but Joyce has got me buying these. Every shop, we keep finding two of these in every shop we go to, and we buy them. It's little ticket machines so that I can put them on my platforms at when I get back to America and put them on the Bremen side. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think I've got at least 8 of those now.
They had a lot of stuff in there. You know, it's a well-stocked.
Well, it's your only train shop, Andrew. Well, there's the toy shop up in Barnemünde, but I don't know of any other train shop. Well, I lied because that leads to the second thing. But anyhow, these guys were very nice. I did not film. If I have time, I will.
I'm loving the poppies. They are so pretty. Oh yeah, we know that.
Oh yeah, it's also TT country. It's also TT country.
So yeah,
we
knew that going.
This area of Germany has, like, within a 70-mile radius, there's 3 shops in the Märklin database. Woohoo! Tim's over 400 now. Cool. but yeah, this is East German, so they had a lot of East German stock and a lot of old Piko, some old Roco, and some new Brava. They definitely were stocking some Brava stuff.
Mm.
It was a wonderful shop. I did not film if I have time, but then again, tomorrow Saturday and then Sunday, so I doubt it's going to happen. I doubt it's going to happen, but I I just I should have filmed and I didn't. And then about a 6-minute walk outside the door of our apartment is an antique dealer, and he has it's antiques and old model trains, and they had a very nice collection of old Pico, some Roco, some Fleischmann, but they did have a lot of old Märklin stuff, all Märklin stuff, nothing 5 digits. Everything was 4 digits, or the blue boxes and the green boxes. So it's all 70s and 80s stuff or older. Um, and I actually tried to buy a locomotive from them, but didn't.
Yeah.
But it was a very nice shop. The woman who was running it, I think she helps run it for her dad or whatever, and she was there. Um, they had this locomotive that I'm after, not the locomotive I'm after, but they had a locomotive I've been kind of after. They had a Class 120 in its 70s livery, 70s and 80s livery with the old Deutsche Bahn red with the large white
Right.
front. And they had it. It was in Delta Digital. No, it was analog. It was
Yeah, it's
analog.
analog.
It was analog, but it had the Alstrom motor in it. And they wanted 130 euros for it, which I thought was a little steep, but it's in mint condition, still in the box. I thought 130 euros was a little bit steep, but I said, what the hell? I wanted a 120.1, and there it is. Buy it when you see it, right? They wanted 130 for it. So I grab it, I get out of the, or I have them get it out of the case, set it down the counter, and I grab my credit card out. She says, cash only. I went, okay. And I take out my wallet, and I know I'm close, and I take out the cash. They want 130, and I've got 120 in cash. And Joyce is sitting there going, maybe she'll take 120 for it and let it go.
I think so. Right?
Dad probably would have. Dad, the man who owns the place, probably would have. She did test it to make sure it ran before we tried to complete the
Steam,
deal.
Caleb.
Actually, this was electric.
No, that train. I think.
No, he's probably had the Class 120.
Caleb asked about the train, the Molly train there. I figure somebody else would have. Let me do 1 point. I figure somebody else would have answered him, but I don't know.
Yeah, but he says what type of steam engine is that photo? That is a Class 99 narrow gauge. The one in the picture below. That is a train. That's one of the locomotives. I think I read they have 4 of them now, but they're all Class 99s. Now, this little antique shop had a great selection of trains, all old ones, but for
good Märklin section in there.
and it had 3 cabinets full of old Märklin stuff.
Thank you, Ifo. You answer.
So yeah, it's coal-fired steam.
Yeah, TT stuff there. Hey, you know all this stuff. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say.
So I enjoyed the shop. I tried to talk myself into going back today and getting it, but things happened, and I just finally said, you know what, 130 was a bit of a steep price for it. I can probably get it cheaper later, and it's not a priority locomotive. I still have a couple of shots yet before I leave Germany. When we're in Frankfurt, we've got a whole day in Frankfurt. We've been to Frankfurt many times. I don't have to do anything touristy, so I can hop on. I think it's the U4 at the train station and take it out to the east side of Frankfurt and go to the big Märklin shop they have there, which is 5 buildings down from a Muller's department store there. So that's my plans for Tuesday in Frankfurt is I'm going to do one last bit of train shopping. Hope I can find a couple of things I'm looking for because the other train shop in Franklin has closed and gone out of business. And I said Franklin in Frankfurt. The other train shop that is a American train shop is now out of business. I don't know if any of that stuff has gone into the family business that's next door, but the family had two shops. They had a model train shop and then sort of a book and school supply shop. But the model train shop is now out of business.
Yeah, I don't know, Artie. Did we blow your train budget at the one shop we took you at? Or are you just not being industrious looking for them?
The 99 needs the subclass. Now, obviously, this is something that they've repurposed for this. All the 99s are like 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. It's something like that. The funny thing is, Joyce and I at that antique shop, there were a bunch of class 38s, I think they were 38s or 39s and 89s. And Joyce kept saying, those look a lot like Molly. Those look a lot like Molly.
The ones on the Molly.
Like, this logo here, they weren't narrow gauge, but in terms of design, it had the, it didn't have the tender, it had the cold box, just as they looked a lot like it. And Joyce suggested, and I actually was thinking of doing it. She said, why don't you get one and just call it the Molly? And then Jean Ricard's like, it wouldn't work. Like, yeah, it would.
No, Monsville, we'll put that all together when we get back home.
Yeah. There will be a video. I have not had time to edit video.
Yeah, it's like we're not sitting around with a, editing videos.
Because you gotta understand, we probably have 3 hours or more of video from Miniature Wonderland. We probably have a good 2 to 3 hours of video from Miniature Wonderland. And there's snafus and cussing or somebody bumped your arms or something like that, like a little shit,
They're a holiday. And so there's a lot of kids on a Sunday
Yeah, we booked ourselves for a Sunday night. We booked ourselves for a Sunday night because crowds are usually smaller. But when I booked it, I didn't realize it was what in Germany is called Pfingstferien, Ascension Weekend, which is a big holiday. So some of the schools are already out and all the other kids are off school for the week. So there were a lot more kids at Miniature Wonderland on a Sunday night than there should have been.
Right.
I don't think the crowd was any bigger.
Everybody.
I don't think the crowd was any bigger, but there were a lot more kids and they could be obnoxious at times.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get that done and I'll put that on my channel. All the other vacation stuff goes on her channel. But it's been there's so many things. I mean, it was only a couple of weeks ago we were in Koblenz.
Yeah,
and it feels like 2 years ago.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, our trip to Saarburg and Kochum, we're gonna have to rewatch the videos to go, oh wow. Because if we think about it, we start going, wow, that was amazing. But as we're wrapping this trip up, we're already kind of, because Joyce hates the question, what was your favorite, honey? But she threw that at me, like, honey, what'd you like most about the the trip to Denmark? Outside, we had to exclude outside.
That question.
I can.
Yes.
You won't. I can.
But
okay. And when we do this, we have to eliminate hanging out with friends. We have to, we obviously going up and meeting Jean Ricard again and meeting Simon are on a different level. But in terms of things we did and things we saw, going up to the very point of Denmark, the point where Denmark ends. I mean, I could cross borders. The border to Canada is 45 minutes north of my town in the United States. So I could cross the border and say, right here, the United States ends. But, the United States is extending all that way and all that way where I'm crossing the border. When you get to Denmark comes to this point, and then there's no more Denmark. It's water. And to get to that little triangle point and go, I'm standing on the last little bit of Denmark before it fades into the two seas here. the Kattegat and the Skagerrak. That was so mind blowing.
It's fun to see them go together. That's the furthest north we've ever been. Oh, buddy, is it cold? It was fun though.
I'm not going HOE. And I'm not going HOE. That's why I would have just bought one in HO so that I could run it on I even have the cars. I have a couple of those cars that you see there, those cream and red short little cars. I've got a couple of those that I picked up to go with my Emma from Jim Knopf. But yes, but then right with that was when I went swimming in the Kattegat. And I got a compliment from Artie's aunt, or not
Yes.
Artie. See, now you got me doing it, damn it.
Ugh.
From Jean's aunt. Jean told his aunt about me going swimming on that cold day in the Kattegat. She's like, that man's not a German, he's a Viking. And I took that as a compliment.
Absolutely.
When the Danish woman says he's not a German, he's a Viking, I was like, cool. And I was feeling very proud of myself. And when I did it, there were these Danish people that watched me go out there, dive in and swim around a bit. And when I walked out, the old lady because I'm excited, I'm laughing, I'm pumped up.
Anthony.
She looks at me. Who cares, John? Picky, picky, picky. Rule 1. Go back and reread to yourself Rule 1 of model railways. So we have that moment. She's like, you are rather impressive with that. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm crazy. No, it's not about being impressive. It's about being crazy. I did, and I'm feeling good about myself. And then I look down, and about 30, 35 meters up the beach from me are these 4 kids swimming. So I'm like, yes, I went swimming in the freezing Kattegat. Da, 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 da. And there's 4 kids down there going,
they're locals. They were born for that.
Damn kids, harsh on my moment.
Yes, there are. Andre, we're out of here Monday. We're leaving Rostock. So
yeah, we're here.
Can't make any long-term plans.
We're gone. We're gone tomorrow because we're going out to Rügen tomorrow. We're going to go to Sassnitz. And then Sunday we'll be at Warnemünde in the morning. But then we'll be back here for the afternoon. Yeah, we'll be everybody in Rostock and the surrounding area will be at Warnemünde. But we're going up early on Sunday to Warnemünde. We're going to go up early on Sunday.
Yeah.
And hopefully hit the beaches and do a little swimming there before the crowds get there. And then we will come back into town.
Stays there for
so
how about that heat?
Oh yeah, you got the Hansa sale in Rostock because Kieler Volca just started in Kiel. I think it starts tomorrow.
I'm gonna try to look cool and not freak out.
Jean Ricard, you are not on your layout right now. No, but I would be taking it home to my layout. Oh my God.
He's just normal.
He's being Danish.
That's right.
Not a Danish, which is
tidal
sweet
waves
and
in the
fruity.
North Sea tomorrow? Oh, okay. You're just wishing those on us, or what?
I don't know. I mean, if Andre wanted to, if he's in Rostock and wanted to try to meet and say hello on, it'd
Sunday,
probably be easier on Sunday. We could try to set up something because, like I said, we'll be at Warnemünde early and probably done by 1 p.m. because it's going to be packed up there.
We'll be creating it. Well, for bloody da, we're not going to the North Sea, Artie. The Baltic Sea.
Artie, I've got a set of fingers here that I could give you all 5, or I could just give you 1. Or since you're from a UK county, I can give you 2 as well.
Build a dam before Anthony jumps in. It's not that bad.
Artie, if we're going to talk about who's going to create tidal waves jumping in water, do we really want to go there? Artie?
Yeah, no problem, Andre.
Hey, Gareth Wade.
Andre, I
Sir
don't
Gareth,
know
welcome
if you
in.
do Facebook, and people don't, but you can always message Anthony on that if you same name, Anthony Dodge.
Yep, you find me on Facebook, Anthony Dodge. I also have Anthony Dodge Model Train Outsider Facebook page for my channel, but I never answer emails over there. Actually, I try. I don't get a lot, but if I do get a message, it takes me a day or two to respond because I don't check in on that channel.
We have had a very um we've been around a lot of water this entire
Oh,
trip.
this trip has been
Yeah.
about water, and we've been loving it.
Rivers.
We've had hills, rivers. We started with Koblenz with the Moselle and the Rhine coming in, and then we went to many cities down the Moselle River, Trier, all the way to the Saarburg with the Saar River flowing through it, and then of course Abeltoft. We had the Bay of Aarhus and the Bay of Abeltoft, and then I went swimming in the Kattegat there, and then Copenhagen, water, canals, and it's an island. And now here in Rostock, we're on the Baltic Sea coast.
Yeah, the DB Museum we didn't realize was only open one day a week.
Well, the thing is, we were told it was one day a week on a Saturday, and I thought, oh, cool. And then I forgot we were booked somewhere for Saturday.
We were booked. So
we would have happily changed plans, except it's the one day where we pre-bought. Where we were going to Aachen, so we had to buy ICE tickets and reserve seats, and so we couldn't change that. So we wound up not. We wanted to go to the DB Museum.
We admired it from the outside.
We admired it from the outside. Look at all those trains down there. Those are cool. But yeah, it's hard to believe that this time next week, or it's easy to believe this time next week we'll be back broadcasting from
the basement
with the basement with the trains running.
All the trains running.
Got a few things I'm hoping to run, including my, that was 3 weeks ago. That guy fixed my 249 Deutsche Bahn 249, and he did it for free.
Sean, I can confirm Anthony tried to escape twice.
I've waded in all kinds of water. I waded in both the Skagerrak and the Kattegat. I've waded in both. And I waded in the waters of Copenhagen. And then I just waded in the Baltic Sea at Kulensborn. But I'm going swimming in it tomorrow. Joyce may be coming with me.
I will wade.
She will wade in the water. She is packing her She's packing her swimsuit. So she might go in further than normal. She might go in further than planned. Splash. I've walked on water with beach underneath it, but that's a different story.
Doesn't count.
I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to find out. You see, Simon was from Copenhagen, and he was very nice and courteous and polite. And Jean Ricard's from Jersland on the Jutland Peninsula, and he's always just mean and bitchy and rude. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to start favoring the Copenhagen, the Zealand folks over those Jersland people. I don't know, Jean. You're going to have an attitude adjustment, young man.
Behave.
Yes, I have wet dreams. Yep.
Oh.
I'm having one right now.
Is he gonna live in a wet dream? No.
No.
What's that song? Oh gosh.
Don't go there. I've heard, yeah, you guys have all been getting blistered. It's been getting hot, and of course, our own home area. I know John Benicki, who I think is working, so he's not here right now. His area got blitzed in Indiana with tornadoes, and there were tornadoes by our home in Toledo, not that close, but just storms everywhere.
But
no threat to ours.
Enough to make you a little nervous.
Speaking of which, Andy, if we can ask publicly, how is your recuperation going, Andy from March West Junction?
I'm good, thanks. Great.
I have dreams about your model railroad. I don't have many dreams about my model railroad. I have a couple, but I have dreams about other things. Don't I, dear?
Uh,
All right, here's the challenge. How quickly can I make Joyce blush? But a bum. What's that?
I'm trying to follow this.
You're trying to follow this. Well, you can follow it here. You don't need to be looking down there. You can see it right there.
Well, sort of.
But yeah, we that was the thing when we went to the train shop in Aalborg. And I did buy those 4 cars that you saw running Friday night's live stream.
Crazy.
They also gave us a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know, Andy. He's been on almost every day. I haven't been watching him, but I know he is.
Yeah, it's kind. See, that's just it. So all of you that you're used to me commenting on all your videos and such, or Artie's live stream the last couple of weeks. Joyce and I just are not around. We get up in the morning. Like today is maybe not the best example, but today we got up 7:30 our time, had breakfast, we're out the door, and we're on the train to Schwerin. And then we spent the day in the town of Schwerin.
He's very cool.
And then we came back here for dinner, and we got back from dinner about an hour before I went online. And in that hour, I got the stuff together for the show, like digging up, because these things have actually been packed since we left Copenhagen.
Okay. I was carrying my backpack.
If you didn't see,
good sport.
let me take one of these out of the box and show it off a bit more.
Yeah, 156 Andrew is so Scottish. I kind of wish he was closed captioned. He's got quite a brogue.
But I was thrilled when I saw that these were
yeah, we are.
wired up and ready to run. But let's go to. I have to go to here and do computer cam solo. And then back to that. So I think you guys can see that. They're kind of like Zilberlingas, I think that is. But these are just beautiful cars, and they already come with lights. And when Simon gave them to me, and by the way, excuse me, sneeze coming on.
Supposed to sneeze on.
I break the rules, dear. I break the rules. You don't sneeze on live TV. Oh yeah, watch me. When Simon gave these to me, I did not know they were lit, but they are all wired. There are lights inside. They're all good to go. So I was doubly thrilled. I did leave a donation. Not nearly worth what these were worth, but it doesn't cover it at all. But he was giving them for free, and wasn't going to take money for them, but I said, fine, I'm leaving a donation to the club because
so much with that club.
It was amazing. That
will be you could buy some more squash.
Oh, you should have done that while on camera, dear. Oh, God. Joyce and I now have a old Danish joke running, or not Danish, commercial that is now a joke with us.
It's great, Simon.
Jean Ricard showed us
entertaining us with
old Danish commercial. Oh my God. Yeah, we can't even talk about some of it. We talked about it last week.
We don't. We're not.
But there is this Danish soft drink called squash.
Yeah.
And there were these 2 comedians that I guess they were relatively famous Danish comedians or whatever, who did the advertisements. It was a series of it, and one of the things was the guy can't pronounce it correctly. I would like a squish, squash. And the guy said, squash, squash, squash.
Yeah, Simon knows them.
So, so this has become a joke. The commercials were hilarious, and I'm glad Jean Ricard showed them to us. But then we went to, was it at Simon's Club?
Yeah, so
Yeah, at Simon's Club. They had a list of
drinks they
things,
wanted.
list of drinks because everybody has their different favorites. And somebody wrote squash in long letters across, and we just broke in hysterics. Joyce was breaking in hysterics. So now every day we were in Denmark, we went somewhere and did, what would you like to drink? Oh, look, we went into this one little thing. We went to get a pop when we did a boat tour. When we did the boat tour, and so he's like, do you have a squash?
Very, very far apart. It's hard to believe Artie's here. It's just so far away.
But the funny thing is, we're all here, but we're all, you know, we're all from around the world. But a lot of us right now, Artie's in Serbia.
Right.
I'm here in Rostock, Germany.
Right.
And
the Mostavians.
But it was, I would like one squash. Oh, they thanked us for the donation. It was a pittance. It was the least I could do.
Yeah.
And never let it be said I didn't do the least I could do.
There's a lot of us in similar ones. One of the comedians said he would try to be elected in the parliament,
and he got voted in. He didn't do anything because he didn't think he'd ever be voted in. That's okay. I don't know if any Americans still here or the UK. There was a show 20 years ago called, well, it was based on the 1980s.
Oh, you are in Australia right now.
We're living in land down under. Oh, you're 10 miles away from Rostock in a village.
Yeah.
He's in a village near Rostock.
10 miles.
He's 10 kilometers. I'm sorry, 10 kilometers.
It's different.
Yes, it is. By about that much.
Yeah.
10 kilometers is about 6.5 miles. He's in a little village outside of. What?
I get another 20 day. Yeah, I'm doing myself.
Oh no. No, you're not. You're in the house for the night. I tried earlier to say, oh, let's go do this. We're done for the day. Okay, we're done for the day. You know the vacation's over. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. It's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Derek.
I'm sorry. You cannot have a squash right now. Now start your coughing fit.
Well, it's on the high school.
See, now you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's with Joyce there. No, Joyce. The vacation's nearing the end when even Joyce is like, we're done.
Let's go back.
Let's go back. We were walking around in the town. We had to do a little bit of
poor Joyce anything.
We had to do a little bit of shopping in town, but I was trying to talk her into, because I kept talking myself back into going back. Hey, they don't close till 6. We can be there in 10 minutes. Let's go get that loco. And we didn't. I feel bad because I told him I'd be back to buy it.
I forgot.
This is the last you'll see me alive.
Go to the border shop at the port and buy a squash. We might do that.
Go to the border port. Yeah, we'll go up to Varnamunda.
Post a picture of 2 of us with our squash.
But we did have one.
We did have one, yeah.
We had squash. It's actually not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Hey, Eric.
Yeah, squash is better than any of those Danish beers. No, I'm sorry.
Eric,
Right, Eric, how you been, my friend? And by the way, speaking of how you been, I asked Andy.
He responded, I think, twice. He's doing fine.
Oh, good.
Can squash be imported?
See, now we were going.
We're advertising for them.
Guys, seriously, just Google squash Danish commercial or Danish squash commercials and look for them because they are hilarious. They are epically hilarious.
Oh, Andre, you can keep your fish there, bud.
Oh, fish brochen.
Wait, Anthony is fluent in German. I understand a lot of German.
I would not say I'm fluent in German. I am very, 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 very good in German.
Dream is derailing like a train of empty Carlsberg trainers.
Actually, I don't know if I talked about.
It's a soda.
I think it's orange.
Yeah.
Based. I think it's an orange base. It's sort of like Fanta orange, but milder.
Yeah. But it is.
Have one of the Danes explain it better.
It's a Danish.
It's squash. It's squish.
Yeah, we're laughing here. It's probably only about 4 people understand what we're talking about, but we thought it was funny. Oh, wait, Simon says it is orange. Okay.
Okay. Yay me. That's one thing. I will say this.
We have a Carlsberg.
If you heard.
Car too.
Yeah, we have a couple of Carlsberg rail cars. I don't know if I admitted it on the last live stream. Did I? Ich möchte, ich hätte gern. If you really want to be fancy, ich hätte gern or ich würde gern mal. There's a lot of different ways to ask for something. Ich möchte, I would like.
Oh, wow, Andrew, that's awful. All right, Sean put a link up. Good for you.
Yeah, and it's by the beer company Tuborg. It's one
of those things. It's just gotten funnier the longer we're away from it.
It's like while we've been on this trip, I started watching on YouTube at night. Or did I start watching it before? No, I was watching it before we came on this trip, wasn't I? It's a British comedy show that only did 2 series called The Sketch Show with Tim Vine and who's the guy that Alex, I can't think of his name. The guy who was really the founder of the show because it was part of a comedy troupe show he was doing and they turned it into TV. But it's called The Sketch Show. And there's this one episode where the comedian, the one woman comedian, all the names are off my brain now because I haven't watched it in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this one bit she does that it's a running joke throughout this episode.
And where loves his running joke.
Oh God, I love a running joke. They had there's the first sketch is a guy is laying on the ground with a mangled bike next to him and a car stopped and people are out and the EMTs come up and the female EMT says, "Can you tell us what you're feeling?" He said, "Well, I think I broke my leg and my arm hurts and my shoulder hurts and he's going through all his symptoms and she's speaking very calmly. I hear what you're saying. Or no, she says, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But what it sounds like to me is pain. And then out of the blue, they do like 3 or 4 other sketches. And then they have a sketch where a guy is landing on the moon.
I thought the suicide hotline was.
No, the moon guy was second, I thought. So they have sort of like Neil Armstrong hopping on the moon. And he's like, "Oh, Houston." She, because it's that same very, very northern British voice. I don't know if she's Monk or Liverpudlian. She's somewhere in the middle there. And he's like, "Houston, I've accidentally locked myself out of the capsule. I could run out of air. I could run out of that." And she's like, "I hear what you're saying. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But what it sounds like to me is, I'm out of oxygen. Wah, wah, wah. I'm gonna die on the moon. Wah, 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 wah." And they just run this
Oh, wait.
through, the suicide hotline one. And it's Lee Mack. That's it, Lee Mack. I said Alex, but it was Lee Mack. And but it was just hilarious. So now that's a joke.
Yes, you cannot say, "Oh, I hear you,"
Yeah,
without it going there, or just whining.
yeah,
I hear
like.
you, but it sounds like
So we're doing that to each other throughout this trip. Where we're like, Joyce, are you listening to me? I hear you, and you know it's coming. I hear you. I know what you're saying. But what it sounds like to me is, where? I thought you were lost in the crowd. Where? How dare you know German without me translating for you? Where? Oh, the two Ronnies are great too. Obviously, there's all kinds of epic, great British comedy, but this is a show we stumbled across because I
funny bone.
I recently, within the last couple of months, have gotten into the British comedian Tim Vine. And just really started getting into his just nonstop one-liner puns because it's my type of humor. And because I'd watched a bunch of Tim Vine videos, I start getting suggestions for the sketch show. So I started watching the sketch show, and well, that was mostly funny. There's a few dull or
Well, always.
yeah,
You're not gonna hit
not everyone's going to be a home run,
it's a good, but they sure had some funny sketches.
but they've got a lot of funny ones.
Yes, I
I
love the one where she's doing the therapy session for the people with imaginary.
Oh yeah, the woman doing the therapy sessions for imaginary friends with a very ironic twist.
Yes, the imaginary friends are very funny. One's an alcoholic. That was hilarious.
The one, I'm not the alcoholic. My imaginary friend is.
Someone opens up the room and there's nobody in there but her. She's imaginary patients.
Holly, it's time for you to go now. But we're done yet.
So
Yeah, that was a good one.
yeah,
But yeah, and
stop. So if you want a good laugh, look them up
because it's funny, it's a 20-year-old show.
yeah,
It's a 20-year-old show, but like
you heard it. It's not.
no. But the thing is, it's like I watch it and half the comments are, "Oh, back when Lee Mack was funny and skinny." Apparently, Lee Mack got bigger.
Yeah.
And not as funny.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just been so, not only are we having all these adventures with going through the towns we go through and riding trains and train shopping, swimming. Okay, one of us.
I waited several times.
Yeah, you waited. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. What it sounds like to me is, why do you always give me crap about that? Um, but it's also just when you have some time and get to hang out and talk to people, and all of a sudden you get, you know, Joyce and I have had this running joke for a week now, and it's probably not going to end when we get to the United States anytime soon. With squash.
Did you also see the cute DBBR 642 diesel multiple unit? Oh, Unite and Bad Doberan.
Unit, probably.
Yeah.
Yes, we did actually. We did at the. Yeah, we got off at the station. I saw a bunch of 642s, whole bunch of 642s.
Where?
Bad Dobran. Yeah, because I kept pointing out.
Yeah,
I've got
you
those.
keep doing that.
I've got
Yes.
those. 442s, but then a
just
bunch of the
like
642s now because they had some 442s and then they had the 642s. It's like 642, 642. I thought it was 442, and then it's like, oh, that's the new multiple units they got.
Shortbread, that's what they call the.
Does anyone not like shortbread? Tom Houston, we all like Andrew. Why would you bring that up in a chat like that? We all like 156 Andrew. Oh, you're talking the actual bread. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, just the last week going on, I was like, okay, what happened since since last week's show? And Joyce is talking about stuff. I was like, no, that happened before the
Yeah,
show.
that was
This
2 weeks ago.
that was 2 weeks ago.
It's like it's all.
Yeah, 442s are on the S-Bahn and 642s are the regional, right? Well, I saw a bunch of the 442s and then I saw 642 and I'm like, what's that?
All right, Randall, take it easy.
Hey, Randall, be back in about 30 minutes.
Duck in
I
those
don't know if we'll
tornadoes.
be still, hopefully we'll still be going in 30 minutes, but it is going to be late. We are getting up early. We got to get up about 7-ish to
Yes.
get everything packed up to go to Zasnitz. We won't be in Zasnitz all day, uh, but we're going to try to hit because that's one of the things. We're in this area. I want to go to the town of Stralsund, but I don't know if we're going to fit it in our schedule. We'll be going through Stralsund, but maybe we'll go to Zasnitz and finish what we want to do. And maybe we won't go down to Zelen. We'll just swim there, and then we'll spend the afternoon in Stralsund real quick, and then come back to Rostock in the evening. So that might work out. You're struggling to stay awake. 5 a.m. starts the last few days. Understood. Um, Yeah, I'm surprised I'm
It's a
this
lot of
awake. The
stress
last couple of
too.
days, because today was an easier day for us. We didn't walk as much as we have, although we still got 19,000 steps in today or whatever you said we had.
Yeah.
Um, it just felt more casual,
Thank
but
you, Randall.
we took more breaks. But yeah, we the last few days by this time, 10, 11 o'clock, I'm like, good night, dear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because we pack a
Oh,
lot
5
into the
a.m.
days.
Yuck.
We pack. Well, that's called morning wood, Andy, and it
Yeah,
happens to a lot of men. That's okay.
Personal there, Andy.
Oh, so many little bits that I'm adding as I've got my computer here, but I haven't even had time. I've had some additional ideas for the new Matt Clark series coming out, which hopefully the first episodes will be airing by August. It's not going to necessarily be weekly. I might get 3 episodes and out in a week, and then won't see an episode for 2 weeks. I just got some things planned, but I've already got the first 2, 3 episodes uh, plotted. I've got the main line plotted, uh, and I've got a bunch of jokes. But while we've been traveling, I've had some more jokes that I've wanted to, and I don't have anything on me to jot them down. And then by the time I get home to the computer, I don't go on the computer, so I've forgotten them. I've had some good jokes like, the other day I was telling jokes. Oh, that's going into Matt Clark. That's going into the next Matt Clark.
So you gotta write it down.
Like, oh, the 642s will unfortunately be all replaced in the future. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, obviously, new trains come, old trains go. We all have our favorites. There are people that can't let go of what was in the 80s. Oh, so
some Andrew. We will have to probably catch it on replay.
But the problem is, Andy, I would have to stop and say, hang on, and type the note because I don't have my stylus. Type the note in my phone
in your phone
and try. And trust me, I actually have sent myself 3 or 4 text messages on this trip with jokes that I've come up with for Matt Clark. But sometimes it's more involved. And while I think of it, I can't always take the phone out because we're doing something and yeah, speak it into the phone. Yeah, I probably could do that one. Voice recorder. I hadn't thought of that one, sadly. But we're caught up in the moment. Like I said, I went to the Schwerin Castle. It's the third time I've mentioned it today. I've always wanted to see it since I was a kid. I've wanted to see this castle on the island surrounded by water in Germany. And I've seen pictures, I've seen videos of it, I've seen drone shots of it. and it's always been amazing. But to see it in person, it was bigger than even I thought it would be. And we got inside, and it was so. It doesn't have the ornate. And by the way, Jean Ricard, this castle could probably use some of your furniture.
Yeah.
But we, there. See, this palace burned down 100 years ago, just engulfed in flames, and they've rebuilt it. But a lot of the original furniture, they're slowly trying to build it back up. But the rooms we went in were amazing. But what I liked is because it wasn't as pimped out as it was 120 years ago. It's actually for a royal palace.
Eric, take care of yourself.
All right, good night, Eric. Take care. Hope you're feeling better than the last time I actually saw you in a chat. Yeah, we saw 112 in just outside of Schwerin at Schwerin-Stadtmitte. There was a 112 parked on a siding. Well, I know you're not planning on selling. I'm just saying it would fit right in. But be that as it may, we had the because the castle wasn't so overdone gaudy, it actually looked tastefully done, which many, when you go to Neues Palais or
Go take care.
Sanssouci and that. All right. Good night, Ifo. We saw an old 151 in a dark blue paint scheme. Um, I forget what station that was at. Really?
Oh, no, leave it, leave it, leave it.
No, you are not watching Ryan Hall during my live stream. Damn straight I did. You're in the middle of my live stream.
Yeah, what's your point?
So it's just, we're kind of already we're counting down. We've got 2 more days. Saturday, Sunday, we're here in Rostock, but we're gone. Monday is gonna be a hard day because we have to get all our luggage to the train station in here in I may try to see if I can get a taxi here. Um,
What?
try to get a taxi here on Monday
Oh,
if we can't figure out the tram or bus.
well, we got some help though, so
Yeah.
figure it out.
We'll get because our luggage is getting pretty packed and keep adding to it. But Monday is a long day. It's a 5.5 hour train ride, which is one of the longer ones we do. It's a 5.5 hour train ride down to Frankfurt.
Yeah, we have a 9-minute.
And we have a 8-minute
8-minute
in Hamburg. We go from Rostock to Hamburg and then Hamburg down to Frankfurt.
I already figure we need to look to see when the next one is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take preventative measure.
We have not done a ICE yet this trip that's been on time.
And trains are
way too a lot late.
When we first started traveling in Germany, the trains are always spot on. And then we noticed they were getting 2 to 5 minutes late and thought it was funny Germans were complaining about it. But this trip, we have yet to have a train on time. And the ICEs have been really bad.
Right.
10, 20, 30 minutes late. And we've got an 8-minute transfer window in Hamburg. I did not know that when I noticed that when I bought the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And it's doable if my train's on time.
Right. Yeah.
It's doable.
And hopefully it's not too far.
But right now they haven't even announced what platform our train to Hamburg is going to arrive at Hamburg. I know what platform I have to get to, but I don't know what platform we arrive on. Because if I have to go from 11 to 2, that's a little harder than going from 7 to 5.
Yeah, and just not normal for
We've traveled all. We've been on an well, I shouldn't say all. We've been on an ICE 1, ICE 2, ICE 3, an ICE 4, and an ICE 3 Neo, which kind of fit the matrix.
Right. Yeah, as long as they're consistently late.
Yeah, both are late, then we'll be
Which
okay.
has happened. Andre says to Hamburg might be platform 7. So we know it's an ICE if that makes any difference. Just because we were on trains today, regionals that were going to Hamburg, though we didn't go that far.
Yeah, so we've been on all 4 main brands plus the ICE Neo. But it's been funny watching Artie's videos filming in both Frankfurt and Hamburg because basically he's been filming my train collection.
Right, yeah.
It's I mentioned that.
We have that one.
Yeah, I've got that train and I've got that one. I've got that one. Oh, look, there's this model. You'll be traveling on 1335 to Preston and Avanti West Coast. We've ridden on those too.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, Gareth, normally they are, but something's going on in Germany this year. And we talked to a person about it, and they said it was hard to understand because we were in a crowd and he was talking fast. But something's going on with the system. They are overdoing the whole system from top to bottom. And they said it's been causing a lot of chaos, but they're hoping that his phrase was in 2 years, everything will be back to normal. Yeah, the fastest I've ever been on an ICE was 280 kilometers an hour. Haven't been on one that did 300. Joyce is watching weather videos.
Oh, what's all that listed? Oh.
Yeah, it will eventually pop up. I'll keep checking my phone and, while I'm at it, I'll check it right now. Since Joyce can check her phone on the live stream, I'll check mine.
Check yours what?
Exactly. If you're paying attention, you know what I was talking about. Okay, there it is. It's on. See, I was just talking about it. Now it's on. We arrive at platform 11, 8 minutes to get to platform 14. And Joyce can testify, when I looked at this, was it earlier today or last night?
Today.
It was earlier today. The platform was not on here. But yeah, we arrive in Hamburg, platform 11, 8 minutes to platform 14. That's nothing because that's up one set of stairs and down the next. So as long as both things are equally delayed, we're on the same time. Hey, Van den Eisenbahn! Grüß dich!
Yeah.
We are live in Rostock. And Rostock is a very beautiful town, but I was going to say this and then I got distracted. Rostock is about 210,000 people, give or take a couple of thousand. It's a beautiful town. It is a resort town, especially up at the Warnemünde area. But we have heard more sirens
Yeah.
in this town than Hamburg and Copenhagen combined.
Helicopters,
police helicopters.
First day
You get a lot of sirens.
For a kid.
Hamburg, if you are somewhere where the windows are open, it doesn't matter what part of Hamburg you're in, you will hear sirens a lot. Not like all the time everywhere, but it's a big city, 1.7, 1.8 million people, and things are happening. You've got sailors from around the world coming into town partying. You've got tourist groups, so stuff happens. But wow, Rostock has had sirens many, many times a day.
We are on a major
all day long. It's been weird.
So Kieran's here.
Hey, Kieran. Hello, Sir Kieran. Welcome in. Yeah, the ambulance. Now they had they had a kid lost. Now originally it was told to us that it was an 8-year-old, but it was a 14-year-old, and the cops were looking for the kid,
Yeah,
and
kid got off of a boat
he was with his
that landed in
grandmother.
Rostock. Yeah,
He was with his grandmother and ditched his grandmother and took off, and then they found him on a train with an adult.
he ended up in Brandenburg.
Yeah, they found him
the
in
word was there was
Brandenburg.
a contact that was
There was a
working with him.
contact in Brandenburg, so it was very
No,
shady.
he was in Brandenburg. There was a contact on the train.
There was a contact on
helped
the
him get
train
there.
that helped him get there.
So yeah, it's kind of a
So
scary
yeah, ditched
situation.
grandma,
But he was found and returned back to his
returned.
grandmother. Anyway, that had helicopters just hovering
Yeah, they were hovering
over
and
this
looking
area.
everywhere. But yeah, it's just been weird. We've had a lot of things there, but the the center of town has been great. We've had some lovely restaurants to eat at.
Yeah, that's a crazy story.
We have found some lovely restaurants to eat at.
Oh yeah,
An Italian restaurant run by Romanians.
just the righteous.
No, the other one was was husband, I believe.
Ah, okay.
So it was family.
All right.
She's a Romanian. She's been in Germany 26 years. She's 46 years old. She told us her life story.
Yeah, we did get her life story.
And that's been funny. That leads me to another story that you're involved in.
Oh,
Technically, you're involved in all these stories.
pretty much. I've been with you all this time.
So as far as you know.
Mm.
Um,
Gotcha, Karen.
Here's the thing. For years and years of travel in Germany, Joyce didn't speak German. I've tried to teach her German. And me being the teacher apparently was something she couldn't handle. Whatever it was. She took it in college when she started dating me.
I took a class.
She took it. It didn't take to her. I tried to teach her many times. All my kids learned German from me, and all my kids speak German. We could not get her. We would start speaking German at the table, and she would get mad.
We have to look that up.
Oh yeah, yeah, we saw that. Well, I pointed that out at the one shop. The
we're gonna stop and get some tomorrow.
Yeah, we saw it there.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw those Stoissels there at that one place. But we wound up picking up the chocolate and the other donuts instead. I was trying to get you. Did you want that one? And I thought you might go for it, and you didn't.
Yeah, well, we can still have a snack.
The Schneckers. But anyhow, so Joyce has been doing Duolingo now for 2-3 years. And our trip to Germany a couple years ago, it was just starting, but you were clearly understanding German. You weren't speaking it, but understanding it, much better than she ever had. Still not a lot, but much better. That was 3 years ago. Let me finish my thing before you defend yourself. I hear you.
Hello.
It's pronounced skvan. So anyhow, this year it's been amazing because Joyce is speaking more German, but she's understanding probably 75-80% at least of the conversations.
For 75.
Oh, right, 75.
It was less.
Because, well, you do that in English too.
Tired.
Yeah, because your brain starts to go. You're talking. I hear what you're saying, but my brain's going.
Yeah.
Joyce is an impatient conversationalist. She will even try to finish your sentences for you because you're not speaking fast enough.
People to finish. Yeah.
You start with 6 words and she'll drop the next 4 for you. But anyhow, so she's been showing off her German on this trip, and every now and then I'll translate some for her, and she'll go, I know what they said. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's just 20 years of doing it. So today we go into Subway. We went into a Subway because I didn't want a big dinner. I just wanted a sandwich, and it was either go buy stuff and make a sandwich or just, there's a Subway. Let's just get a sandwich here. Because otherwise we don't hit the American chain food places here. But we went into Subway, and Joyce somewhere just started going, "Ik mochte the onions," and "ik mochte the lettuce," and then it was, and then she goes, "Onion Zwiebel," and I looked there, and go, "Zwiebel, Zwiebel." Lettuce. I mean, salad. And the ladies behind were having a little bit of fun with that.
Yeah, they were. But it was like I knew it. I just didn't say it right.
It's not the words Joyce says, it's the words she doesn't say. Indeed. Big mistake buying Subway.
It fit the thing.
It fit the need at the
I'll tell
moment.
you, the last time we've had Subway at home.
Yeah, it's been years and years and years since we've
Like
done
I say,
Subway.
it just felt
We used
like
to do Quiznos.
felt like the right thing for today.
Our daughter worked at Subway for
Right.
years.
Good, Artie.
Yeah, it was a nice change of pace because we have been having. I mean, I've been eating a lot of Italian.
Sandwiches, something.
I've been eating a lot of Italian because we keep hanging out in these fish towns, and I don't do seafood.
Fish and chips.
I'll do fish and chips
Yeah,
in UK, but we haven't.
Dobermann-Platz. Yep. Great if you want to crash diet.
No, it wasn't the one on Doberanner-Platz.
It was.
No,
Where were we?
it was just off the I forget what street it was. It was just off the main square. The by the Lebenfreude, you go down and turn. It's by an Edeka on the but yeah, it's not Dobermann Platz.
Wait, there's a doner kebab there.
Yeah, it's just one of the side streets right off the main square
And the
there.
Happy Fountain is just down the road.
Universitätsplatz.
Yeah, it is, although mostly we do okay.
Well, that was the problem, Dirk. They didn't make it like from home. I don't know what the hell is up with Germans, but they can't just serve meat. They have to throw 10,000 vegetables in the meat.
Indeed.
So I wanted a little steak sandwich, and then they made it, and then it's like, oh crap, it's got green pepper. I just wanted beef and cheese. I told them steak and cheese. But their steak had onion, green pepper, and olive mixed into it. I was like, oh crap. I took one bite and spit it out.
Yeah. Desperate. Okay.
No offense, but I found Middlesbrough desperate. So we were, but yeah, so I scraped everything off the sandwich, and I had some cheese left in the refrigerator here, breakfast cheese.
Yeah.
But we finished most of our breakfast stuff, so that's why we had to go to the store to get breakfast for the next couple of days. But I've been eating a lot of Italian. Last night we had pizza, and I finally, it's shocking it took me this long. It was Turkish pizza, but it was the first time. Normally I'll have it at least twice, if not 3 times through my trips through Germany. Pizza quattro formaggi, 4 cheese pizza, because Europeans do 4 cheese pizza the way it should be done. Instead of mixing all 4 cheese and then spreading it all over where all the cheeses blend into one flavor, you have 4 different sections: gorgonzola, Edamer, mozzarella, and whatever the 4th cheese they elect is. The one last night was Spada. They put it in 4 different quadrants, so you get various blends of the different cheeses, and I love it. But every time I've been in the mood for pizza and we've gotten pizza, the restaurant doesn't have quattro formaggi.
Yeah.
So we finally found one that had it, so I ordered it last night, and it was okay. It wasn't the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Novak at Doberanplatz and get breakfast. Nah, we keep breakfast cheap and small.
Yep.
But because that's one of the problems this trip to Germany is, normally we do small breakfast and either a big lunch and a light dinner, or a light lunch and a big dinner. So we only have one main meal a day, and we've been doing 2 main meals.
I don't think we have that.
We've been having bigger lunches and bigger dinners. We'll have we'll have a bigger breakfast, and then we'll have it's just I've eaten worse in Germany this year. Not in terms of food. I've had great food, but like I go to a place, I order a couple of schnitzels, and I get three huge schnitzels this big, and I eat them.
You still haven't recovered from that.
I haven't recovered from that.
Yeah, we got those small
I've had
pizzas last night. They were still too big.
Yeah, we got small pizzas last time. They're too big, and yet I eat the entire thing.
Yeah, we did. I regretted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Novak and Duran. So now Andre's joining in. Adolf may have helped earlier. That's an interesting way to put it, Leslie. But yeah, it's just there's been so many things, and I did get my Swiss veal in Delmenhorst, and I've had a lot of different veals. I've had calf twice this trip. Schnitzel, calf-based schnitzel a couple of times, and it's been really good. I've had a couple places that have done it right. The little place down here, Helga's Kitchen, or actually it's this way. Helga's Kitchen is what? It is over there.
Yeah.
Sure it's not that way?
No. No, I'm not sure.
But Helga's Kitchen, nice little restaurant. I'd like to eat there again. They have a really good calf schnitzel. But the other thing I haven't been able to find is the four cheese penna, which I really like.
Yeah.
A lot of Italian restaurants, but very limited menus this year. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we found
Or
it
the
several
ones
times.
that have decent menus, they still don't do the four cheese penna. I've had penna gorgonzola a couple of times, which I also like, but I also like the four cheese penna. Oh yeah, not everybody does it. Not everybody does it, but the restaurant down here serves it with the pretzel bit, with the cranberry. Because true true Wiener Schnitzel should be served with it's not a breaded, it is a coated piece of veal.
Oh, Andy, that's a personal question.
Oh my. Behave.
Hey, that was apparently one of our big meals. We had a Versta.
Yeah, the big fast first.
Oh, I didn't have fries or anything with it. It wasn't that big deal. Now we had two big meals.
But have you had any decent ones?
Oh, well, that's good.
Thank you.
Frankfurt Airport, at the other end where I was staying, Anthony.
Well, I found good Italian restaurants. They're just not offering specifically what I want. I've tried different meals than I would normally try and have enjoyed them. Well, I've been experimenting, but it's been a lot of Italian. In fact, not yesterday. The day before was the first time I've had a bratwurst in Germany. I've had a currywurst, but where you go up and just get a bratwurst on the bun with a little bit of mustard on it. Normally, I'll have two of those a week, and this was the first time we've had that because in Koblenz we just always found something else we wanted to eat, and then with Jean Ricard, Jean Ricard just kept trying to push all this Danish food on us.
Yeah, so he says he went back to Skomolen tonight. So what did he have? What was that Skomolen?
Fish. A big Danish fish.
Big Danish fish. Might have been a German.
Hey, there's Raymond Legs. Hello, Sir Raymond. I know we're talking about food. We haven't talked about music in a long time, but.
How long are you going to stay on?
Oh, I was getting ready to wrap it up now because it is going on 11 and we've got a pack for tomorrow. We're getting up early. But I was doing 2 hours. I wasn't going to stay on the 3, but I thought we'd go 2.
All right, Sean, you need to tell what you did.
Yeah, you probably had your god-awful pickled herring.
Shavape?
It's what I make called sabapchichi.
Ah, gotcha.
Every dialect down
Yeah.
in Hungary to
Oh, you have
Turkey
little
calls it
faith.
different. You had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. God, I missed that. I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
Yes, dear, thank you. Thanks, Mom. You can have one when you get home. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. What it sounds like to me is, "Wah, wah, wah, I don't get to eat what I want. Wah, wah, wah." What happened to Ryan Hall? Did he run out of tornadoes to excite you?
Schnitzel, like last Friday. He had a schnitzel.
Oh, he had another schnitzel.
Okay.
Walking down memory lane.
Yeah.
No, those were good schnitzels there too.
Happy.
We've eaten well. I mean, we've only had one restaurant we've gone to where I thought the food was bad.
Flavor of jelly.
What flavor of jelly? Oh, you can do grape, strawberry, raspberry. I'm good with all of them. I rotate them. At home, I rotate them.
Apparently, Lindy picked a lot of our raspberries,
But my grandson
but
was eating them.
Cayenne was eating them as fast as she could pick them, I think, and took the bowl.
She was
Nonetheless, I'm glad they were being.
Shavapi.
Found nasty bugs on them.
Yes, everybody calls them sabapchichi or sabap kebab. In Turkish, it's kebab. It's all this basically the same idea. It's a blended beef, cow, lamb. And my son and I have made it because they always we had a kid named Ismar who was he, I forget which of the group he was, but he was from the former Yugoslavia, and in our textbook, Ismar was he Bosnian? I forget which, but in his country, it was where he's from. It's called sabapchichi. So we looked it up because any type of food that they mention in our textbook, I would always want to experience it so I could tell my students what it is and what it tastes like. But sabapchichi was the hardest, so we finally looked it up and they gave us the various recipes, and we found a Bosnian one that called it sabapchichi, exactly like the book calls it. And we made it. It was half lamb, half beef, and you mince it, you roll it up into sausages.
Pork and beef and lots of garlic.
Pork, beef, lots of garlic. But again, it can also be lamb. It just depends on what region.
Those things that you have.
It's what you have locally. It's like everybody's got a form of taco or shawarma, falafel, whatever, where you have some sort of a bread and you throw some sort of a meat in it. Hey, Canadian Locomotive Logistics. But just depends on where you're at in it. But yeah, he would always Ismar would talk about it, and then he made it for the group, and it's just little sausages. But on that note, we probably babbled, or I've babbled enough.
We've babbled enough.
We got an early and busy morning tomorrow, so we should probably set things out and get things ready. At least something to look at. Are you saying we're not worth looking at? Thanks, dude.
Granddad's pig pen went today. Very sad, Artie.
No, but it's nice to, it's always nice to run trains. And yes, we got to run trains from Jean Cartes last week, which is an awesome memory.
Nice, yep.
But yeah, we got to move in,
take care, Artie.
Move on.
Yep.
So anyhow, Kyan, if you were still watching, we love you.
Sure do.
There might even be a chance Opal will be picking you up from school on Thursday if you're a good boy.
5:30 or whatever it is, yeah.
So on that note, we're gonna say Auf Wiedersehen and happy trades. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Love and appreciate you all. Bye now.